Female rap is on the rise, with more female rappers in the game than ever before. But what's the journey like for those that are just starting out? In this episode, we speak with up-and-coming female rapper Thank Taylor about how she's building her brand and making a name for herself in the industry. Listen in to hear her story. Enjoy. So I wanted to have you up here, like I said, off camera. I've actually been hearing about you for the past couple of years, seeing your videos on Instagram and everything like that. And since you're in the 757, the conversation I've always wanted to have is, how can female rappers, female artists kind of, grow their brand? Because right now, it's a lot of female artists who are like bubbling right now, just in the overall industry. And it's just been like a renaissance of, female artists. So kind of just wanted to talk to you, the overall conversation is about how can female artists kind of grow their brand. But for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do in your own words?
All right. Well, I'm Thank Taylor. I'm a graphic designer.
That could have been another adjective you told me about.
I mean, I put myself under one big umbrella of art.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't really separate any of the art that I do. I look at rap as art. I look at songwriting as art. I look at painting as art, graphic design. So that's why I just call myself an all-around artist, because that's what I do. That's just what I am. I do art.
Okay.
So that's why I decided to do graphic design, so I can make my art digital.
Okay. So do you actually like design like your album, like not album covers, but like your covers and stuff like that?
I do all my own cover work. I do all my own logo work, and a lot of my video reel stuff, I edit that too.
Oh, really? Okay. You don't really hear too many people actually doing that, especially adding like the graphic design to it. So that's dope.
Yeah.
So for the people, I guess, how did you get started? I guess with music and graphics.
Now, I've always been interested in art since a child. So even before I graduated high school, I had decided that I was going to go to college for graphic design.
Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to high school. I'm actually from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And then I came here to go to Norfolk State to pursue the graphic design. Then after that, I got into the nightlife scene. So I became a bottle girl while in college.
Okay.
So that's what I did for work while in college. And just, being in that atmosphere and meeting people, mingling. A lot of people was just like, you should rap. And I'm just like, what? At first I didn't really. A friend of mine just was like, you know what, I'm going to book you some studio time. And I want you to go in there and just talk, just do your thing.
Oh, all right, so let's back up. So did you tell people like you could rap?
No.
Did you ever like write a rap?
But now I will say that now when I get tipsy, I will rhyme.
You be freestyling niggas?
Yeah, I freestyle, and I'll do some stuff like that. All in jokes, all in playing around. So those particular people that I was around doing that around, they were like, you should probably get in the studio. You kind of got the look, and I was like, well, okay. I'll do it.
Okay.
Y'all helped me put the little song together. So we came up with some song. I never dropped that song. But then I sat down and really got together and wrote my actual song that I dropped.
If you could grade that first song on a scale of 1 to 10, where would it be at?
I would say 7 because of the delivery. Delivery wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Words, the words were there. But not the delivery.
Okay. So you said, you're a bottle girl, you booked studio time, you made a song, and how did it kind of progress from there?
From there, actually, we dropped. I was working with VIP Studios. They had the video and studio all in one. So,
yeah. Shout out to Vern. I actually grew up around. So.
Okay, yeah. He shot my very first video, Talking for Bert. We went down to Miami, and I kind of mixed both my art and the rap because I also was down there for Art Basel that same time. So while we were down there, we went ahead and shot the video with everybody that was down there. And when I dropped it, the response was bigger than I thought. So after that, I was like, okay, well, let me stay in the studio, see what I can do. And then I actually grew like a passion for it. My delivery got better, and I got more comfortable behind the mic.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So, and you, but you also do art as well, like painting, things like that. So, how did you get involved with that?
With painting, I just have always done it.
Really?
I have always done it. Back home in Lynchburg, I was the go-to person to customize shoes. I was the go-to person for anything crafty or artsy. So when I came out here, a lot of people knew me for doing portraits.
Oh, okay.
I painted a lot of people here.
Okay.
So I did that, and then someone just came up with the big idea. Hey, paint my wall, paint my restaurant.
Really?
So I did that, and after that, I just became known through word of mouth, because I don't really promote per se a lot with my mural work. So that was just through word of mouth. The traffic that was coming through these restaurants, like, who did your wall? Oh, St. Taylor.
Yeah.
Recommend you. She did good. She did fast. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of give a little bit of value. So, so when you first started, what were some things that you did to actually get your name out there?
I would say, really, it was that nightlife scene for one. But after that, pandemic, that wasn't a thing because the clubs were closed.
Yeah.
So when the world slowly started to open back up, it was more so creating this sense of mystery about yourself or being exclusive. Like, if there is a gathering going on and everybody's there, I'm probably not going to be there. That way I could be booked to go places, or, it just became, a thing. And then I had my partner, Yana Watts. We threw events instead of, we wouldn't go out to the parties that everybody was going to, or we wouldn't do all that. We would get together, we'd come up with something creative that hasn't been done before, and we'd throw an event. So now it's like, okay, we either throw in an event or you have to book. In order to see me or get me to come there. So
how does that work if you want to just kind of just go out, like, all right, it's a Saturday night, like, no, I actually need to get out of the house. So how do you figure that out?
I mean, you can go out every now and again. I don't recommend going out all the time in your city, especially being in in this area, because it's not hard to be seen by everyone.
Right.
If you go out every Saturday, like, oh, I just seen her.
Yeah, so ain't no need to book you for nothing if you was just in here last week.
Right.
Okay. So outside of, like, events and stuff, was there anything that you're doing to kind of just get your name out there?
Social media.
Really?
Social media.
Okay.
And let's see what else. Get my name out there. It really was just word of mouth. I'm not gonna lie. Doing so many things, people either knew me through music or they knew me through art.
Right. So as far as the social media aspect, I see that at one time you was posting a good amount of videos and stuff like that. So when it comes down to your content, what are your thought process behind what you're gonna put out?
All right. Basically, my thought process now, at the time when I was really posting a lot, and it just became every time you put on a fly outfit, get a picture.
Yeah.
Every time you go somewhere with a different backdrop or background or a different location, get a picture. Record what you guys are doing. Take trips. Record it. And go through it, see if it's quality.
Yeah.
If it's quality, post it. And a lot of times I would pay attention to the algorithm. Back when Instagram used to really show you, like, okay, people are online during this time, or it's best if you post during this time. So I would take heed to that, but also just kind of thinking outside the box and doing your own thing. Like, you don't always have to post or do what everybody else is doing. Like, you don't have to be half naked all the time. Or you don't have to be, you know what I mean? You don't have to do that all the time.
Right.
So keeping that in mind.
Okay. So out of the content that you posted, which pieces of content that you feel like worked the best and allowed you to just, like, I'm gonna kind of stick to this kind of game plan?
I want to say, all right, those posts that involve not just me. There's a makeup artist and I'm working with this person, that means I'm automatically going to get reposted to whoever's on their page. The hairstylist, make sure you got them tagged. They're going to post you to their page. It's kind of in the networking scheme.
Yeah.
So if I can network, and those posts seem to do the best if I'm working with more than one person, or if it's for an event, or, those posts do the best, or even posts that have to leading up to an event, or
Okay.
Like that type of stuff. Like it's not just, oh, you took a pretty picture today.
Yeah.
No, this has something more to do with something that's coming up or something for you to continue to follow.
Okay. Yeah, because one thing I noticed just with the content I post is like, if you are able to tag people in your post, then like I said, they're going to share it. But I think 9 times out of 10 people just think of sharing it like, all right, they're going to just share it to their stories. But you got to really think of it like distribution almost. Like, all right, if I can get certain people to share the posts that I make or share the videos, then it's going to lead me to be on other people's pages, which puts me in front of thousands of other people.
Of other people that's not on your page, right?
Right. And if it's good enough, then you should be able to bring them back to your page and become followers of yourself. So I think a lot more people just need to kind of look at it like, all right, how can I get my stuff distributed, to other different platforms and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's exactly the thought process.
Yeah.
Because even though we're all in the same city, we all have different brands. We're all working in different fields. We all know somebody different that you haven't met, even if it's in the same area or a different state. So I always try to not be just me all the time. You know what I mean? I'm just posting pictures of myself all the time.
Gotcha. So what is the hardest part about being a female rapper?
Being taken seriously.
You don't think people take you seriously?
I don't think. Okay, let me see how I can word this. Because just like promotion, it is a male-dominated industry, and it's slowly taking a turn to being female-dominated. It's a lot more female rappers than it was just a few years ago.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that we're not being taken seriously, but in this area, a lot of times we don't see a lot of female headliners. We don't see, the female, and also a lot of females don't want to get together. So that's another thing. It's like, if we got together sometimes or, supported each other a little bit more, that might be something that's also hard with female rap, because everybody feels like they have to be in competition.
Right.
So.
Okay. I can definitely see that. So as somebody, I guess you'd be classified as a multi-hyphenate or whatever, as people who do multiple things. How do you balance between your artist side as well as your, I guess, visual artist side, like as far as being a creative painter and everything like that? How do you balance those two personas, those two worlds of yours?
To be honest, I'm still trying to find the balance between those things. I just wake up and whatever I feel like that's what I'm going to do today, that's what I do. And usually when it comes with music, I don't want people to always expect everything to be about music. I want, when I drop a song or when I drop a single, I'm surprised. You guys are surprised. You haven't heard from me in a while. This must be good. Or she must have put some thought into this particular piece, because I treat my singles like art as well. Because, I want you to be surprised when I drop this. Not like, oh, she's dropping another 15 songs. And you know what I mean? I'm not that type of artist.
Right.
So I'm that kind of, everything wants to be, I want everything to be unique and have some thought into it.
Okay. So when do you plan on putting more music out?
This spring and this summer.
Okay.
So this spring and this summer, working on an EP. I do have a lot of songs in the cut. I'm just going to go through and, see which ones I feel are the best.
Okay.
And then probably create one more.
Okay.
Go from there.
Okay. So before we wrap up this conversation, got my last question, the skip the line question. So, so for the version that you are now, if you had to give advice to your, not necessarily your younger self, but your version of yourself before COVID.
Okay.
If you had to say all right, I want to give you advice on how, if you want to be a rapper or be an artist, what are some things that you could do on day one that's going to allow you to, be a couple steps ahead of, where you're at now? So what, tips or, piece of advice would you give you?
I would say, even if you're just starting.
And make it tangible too. We don't want to say just work harder, because that's
right.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you're just starting, take yourself very seriously. Take yourself very seriously to the point where, yes, I might need you to sign this non-disclosure agreement. I might need you to show me in paperwork that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, because what you don't have time to do is waste time. Right. So if I work with you and we put all these hours in and we do all this stuff, because time is of the essence. Period. Right. So if you mess up, or if you just decide, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, or we did all this video work, it didn't work out, I'm just gonna trash the video. And a lot of important things can go wrong not having the proper paperwork in place. So just make sure that everybody you work with, you can trust, and even if you can trust them,
have that paperwork.
It's got to be some paperwork involved.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
I'm guessing you ran into that problem.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that.